Oh, gotta look.
You look good. You look fabulous.
The road is calling out my name. It's mysteries I can't explain. It's rhythm and its color so entwined. The parts of me I've yet to find. It's canyons and its rivers and its streams. The oceans and the moments in between. Impressions of footsteps in the sand. The stories in the soil of the land. One foot just beyond the other, sun and moon and endless mother. Stepping out is going home. I am embracing the unknown.
Okay. So, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
Well, it's a wonderful day out in Cutler, Maine. We've got it's the last snowfall I'm hoping for this year. My husband took his snowplow off the truck, and one of my friends here in Cutler said, "Now, Norbert, you know that we're going to have a big snowstorm at the end of March, so that's what we're having right now."
Right here, yes, the big snowstorm of about half an inch of snow. Yes.
But it's still coming down. I can see it right now.
Yeah, that it is. Okay, please introduce yourself to the viewers.
I'm Marilyn Murdoch. I live in Cutler, Maine, and absolutely love it. This is my journey, and I'm so glad I made the decision to come here and live here.
That's wonderful. How long have you lived in Cutler?
Well, we bought this house in 88, 89. And then some locals, a local construction company, one is my next door neighbor, John Ferris, and his partner, nicknamed Hunky Ferris. Hunky Porter. Real name Berlin Porter, so you can see why they named him Hunky. Had a construction company, and they said they would help us redo the house that we wanted them to do. So
Okay. Now you told me a few days ago that you were from Atlanta, Georgia.
well, actually, I was born and lived a few years in Springville, Alabama.
Right.
That's about 500 people, just like we have right here, and I've come full circle.
You're from Springville, Alabama.
Right.
And then you moved to Atlanta, Georgia when you graduated from college and you started
Right.
working. And you
Right.
lived there for the majority of your life.
Well, majority of my life so far.
So far.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, what made you move from a big city like Atlanta to small town Cutler, Maine, all the way across the country on the East Coast?
Well, also, I lived in other parts of Atlanta. I mean, other parts of Georgia. I lived in Savannah, Georgia, which is absolutely beautiful. I lived on the intercoastal waterways.
Mm-hmm.
And I was renting a garage apartment. The owner was a pharmacist, and he was going to build his big house here, because being on the intercoastal waterways on Wilmington Island, they have like 5 acres of property as a minimum. So I had a wonderful time there. But then I was teaching school there. Then I went to it's called Martinez, Georgia, which is actually, most people would know it as Augusta. I taught school there for a year, and then I went to Atlanta.
I
So-
see. Okay. But what made you come to Cutler? What was the appeal
Okay.
of this tiny town?
I had never been here before, to Maine before, when in 1977, 78 was my first year here, and my husband said, my grandmother has a cottage that I think you might enjoy because you like to camp and do things like that outside. Anyway, I said, okay, let's do that. He didn't tell me it was a house that was built in 1800s, I think, with these big old wraparound porch and rockers out there and so forth, and overlooked Gardner Lake, and it was perfect because you got your water out of a well, a drill well, and so forth. And I thought, oh, this is great. I love this because I'd never been this far north. I'd been to New York and thought, oh, that's great, but I'd never been to a small town like this area has down East Maine.
Yeah.
So
now, what makes Cutler unique and stand out from other towns around here?
okay, if you will remember the other day, you said something about you wanted to go around the island and see what it was.
Mm-hmm.
This reminds me of living in Cutler Village. Reminds me of living on an island because you have everything you need. Is if it's not in your pantry or your freezer, you can forget it because you got to go 16 miles at least to the nearest grocery store. And if you don't make your list and get it all on there, you're in trouble. But I love it here. It's quiet. The first time, I'll tell you why I like it here. I had a Springer Spaniel that we brought up here for the first time, and as I'm walking her down the hill at night to go, to do the last thing that they do at night, she had her head down and she then threw her head back and she did a double take because she saw stars that she never saw in Atlanta, Georgia. I mean, it's a unique place. It's quiet. Guys work, women work. I mean, it's a wonderful place to be.
You weren't kidding about the sky being so clear. My
Oh.
first night that I was here, I had never ever seen such clear skies, and I
Right.
mean, the entire sky was just lit up,
Right.
like
oh yeah.
with diamonds,
Right.
and there was not a speck of black
Right.
up there. And I said, "This can't be real.
Right.
There's no way." But
It's great that you said it's full of diamonds. What I used to tell my husband used to go back to work in Atlanta and leave me here, and once we bought this house, and he'd call me in the morning and say, "Okay, what's the weather like?" And I would say, "Diamonds are on the water." And he knew exactly what I was talking about because you had a clear, beautiful sky, blue sky, and everything was sparkling. Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yep, that is in the sky when there's no clouds. I love the term that you use, porcelain.
Porcelain.
Sky.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What does a day in your life look like around here?
Well, I'm a planner, so I'll
Yep.
write down all the list of things I'm going to do. It never gets done, mostly, because there's something else that's going to interfere with it. And I shouldn't say interfere with it, because it's always interesting or fun, or a neighbor will call me and said, have you read so-and-so book? And I'll say no, or if I have, we'll discuss it. And so there's my morning right there. Anyway, get up, have a cup of coffee. I really like to sit in this area that we're in because I can see the boats,
Yes.
the lobster boats going out in the morning. And I love to see that. And because they're just steaming out, And then I love to, plus, because we're so east in the United States, we get the morning sun first.
Yeah.
We got, trails that are really kept up. I mean, out here, you'll find yourself on ledges, you'll find yourself on ground at times, but then you're on ledges, climbing over ledges. It's a wonderful place to be.
Yes, it is.
If you like the outdoors, if you don't, something's wrong with you. You won't live here. I've had a lot of visitors here because they've never been to Maine or this part of Maine. We call it way down east Maine. And I've only had one couple that had to leave before they were supposed to because there was no mall available within 2 hours or two and a half hours. Hey, that's fine with me. You can always use your phone. If you need something, you can either go 16 miles to the town, or you can use your cell phone and order it.
That's right. Tell me a secret of Cutler.
We used to have a hot tea in the afternoon, and she said to me one day, Marilyn, not everybody in this town's gonna like you, but they'll always be here when you need help.
Yes. Give one advice to someone like me who is traveling the country.
Well, the problem now is we're living in a world that is so different for all of us. And I'd say the first thing is be safe. And the biggest thing is be safe, because we have relatives right now that are moving from Sacramento, California to Cutler, Maine with their junior and high school kid because they are afraid to live in Sacramento, California, because of the crime, and you could be at a stoplight in the city, and if you look over at the car next to you, they will shoot you. I mean, it's not good. It's not safe. But I'm delighted you're out there experiencing the good parts of this country.
Yes.
Because there are a lot of good parts.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes. You just have to search for them.
Yeah.
And that's another. There's a saying that the best things in life are not found easy.
No.
You have to go out there and search for them.
Right.
And if you find things easy, it's not the best thing in life.
No, that's true. That is true.
One advice you'd give to people in general.
Life's a journey, and enjoy the journey that you're on, and fully participate in it. This New York friend of mine and I are talking to each other and saying, okay, what are we doing? What are we doing now that we can think about in a few years and say, hey, I am so glad I did that. We're keeping each other on our toes because we're telling each other what our plans are and what we want to do. So I'm saying life is a journey, so make your plans. You don't have to stick with those plans constantly, because you're going to be able to deviate to just like you have deviated. Just like you are staying with us longer than you anticipated.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Because you're enjoying it and you're learning from these experiences.
Oh, yes. Without a doubt.
Get out there and experience life. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. A message to my viewers who are watching this right now.
I could be a salesperson and say, you need to come to Down East Maine. And Cutler is a wonderful place to spend a day hiking or traveling around or picnicking down on the rocky beach or or just taking pictures of the harbor and the boats there.
Oh, yes.
It is very picturesque.
Oh, my. Well, thank you very much, Marilyn, for the interview. Thank you for taking the time, for sitting here and answering those questions. I really do appreciate it. And
Once I see this, we're going to throw it away.
Thank you so much for watching my video, guys. If you like this video, please hit that thumbs up button right here in this corner. Really helps me out a lot. And if you want to join me on my next adventure, please hit that subscribe button, that little tiny notification bell, and you'll be the first one to know when I put a new video up. So until our next adventure, I'll see you all later. Bye!